She is so unbelievably hot. I mean, and her smile, woo! Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're doing something super cool and fun. Over the past few days I've been doing these polls on my community tab asking you about your biases of a few different K-pop girl groups. Because in this video we're gonna be confronting our biases. This is how it's gonna go. For each group I'm gonna first reveal the results of the poll, then give you a second to have a guess on what my bias may be, and finally share who it is and most importantly, why. Any questions? No? Well then, without further ado, let's get into it. So, our first group is going to be Blackpink. It seems like you guys couldn't really decide whether it's Jisoo or Rosé, but ultimately, Rosé has an advantage of just 1%, so it is Rosé for you guys. Now, my Blackpink bias is, don't worry, I'm gonna give you a second, like I said. Well, it has to be Jisoo. Jisoo is one of the most special idols that I am familiar with. Despite her absolutely stunning and sophisticated visual, she has that sense of humanism about her that's both very refreshing and appealing. Jisoo is very personable. She's not intimidating, but still has a presence of an idol, which leads us to her stage presence. Jisoo may not be the best dancer, but she's a great performer. I swear, if I had time, I could watch her stage fan cams for hours. She's focused, she's calm, she's professional, but she always comes up as a person and not a robber, and I love her for that. Because she's rather composed in her performance, whenever she smiles or makes a stronger facial expression, it just hits harder. Although I'm blown away by Lisa's dancing, what I personally enjoy about Jisoo is that her dance is very easily digestible, making me feel that, hey, maybe even I could dance like that. Which I could never, don't get me wrong, but you get the point. Off stage, Jisoo seems very balanced personality-wise. I think she's one of those who can connect with all sorts of different people, and I find the way she interacts with other people really captivating and relatable to me. You can tell that she's mature and collected, but not stale. Also, her voice. Her lower, smoky, wine dark colored voice is a breath of fresh air in the K-pop music industry that works well within Blackpink, and I'm sure it will sound wonderful once Jisoo gets to debut her solo material, which as you can tell, probably I look forward to.
Could be the lover, I'll be the fire, babe. If I'm the blonde, you could be the lighter, babe. Right up, baby, you could be the good. If I'm the lady, baby, you could be the note. So no cloudy, my felony.
Oh yeah, let me just say that Jisoo could easily be lead rapper in a different group. Moving on to Red Velvet. First, let's look at our poll, and it seems like you guys have a clear favorite, and it's Wendy. And once again, giving you a second to guess who's my favorite. We agree, I'm not surprised by that. The fact that Wendy is a great vocalist is common knowledge at this point, but to be able to sing like Wendy, you need more than just talent. I mean, just talent. You need time and effort put into training and practicing. This is what made Wendy a well-rounded and seasoned vocalist who takes her craft seriously and consistently delivers high-quality vocals. Her humility and will to keep improving and developing her skills is both adorable and admirable, and just adds another layer of respect I have for Wendy. Wendy has a bubbly and extroverted spirit, but she doesn't come off as pretentious or juvenile. She's lively and passionate, which naturally translates into her stage presence. Wendy is one of those idols who are not afraid to break the character and show how much she enjoys performing and being on stage. Her enthusiasm is truly infectious and her biggest strength is her charisma. And Wendy has been a ray of sunshine on stage since Red Velvet's debut, even back then when her dancing skills were leaving quite a lot to be desired, because you may or may not know that Wendy had one of the biggest dance glow-ups in K-pop, which must have taken a lot of time and effort, although I'm not a dancer myself, but many creators here on YouTube agree that Wendy is Red Velvet's third best dancer after Irene and Seulgi. Considering that she doesn't seem to be a naturally gifted dancer, which I can relate to, it is a pretty big deal and it adds yet another layer of my respect and admiration I have for her. Come on, Wendy is making it really difficult not to love her, and whoever calls her the visual whole of Red Velvet needs to get their vision tested. Like, what? I mean, you all are crazy. Also, yay for Canadian accents.
I used to go to school in Minnesota.
Okay.
And I moved a lot. I used to go to school in Canada first, in Brockville. It's a really small town.
Okay.
Then I moved to Toronto,
Okay.
bigger city.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Minnesota, USA,
Yeah.
where my sister lives.
Okay.
Then I came to Korea to become a singer.
Next we have ITZY. Again, let's take a look at a poll. Okay, so we can see the competition between Ryujin and Chaeryeong. Let me say that I didn't really expect that, but well, it is a brilliant choice. I mean, Chaeryeong, you can't go wrong. This one is really hard for me. Take a guess. I think my ITZY bias is... I think it's Yeji. She wasn't my initial favorite, she didn't really stand out to me in the Mafia in the Morning era, but oh my god, was she killing in the Crazy in Love era, like what the fuck. She has been literally dominating the stage without ever trying too hard. Yeji's stage presence is sharp and strong, but not too intense or aggressive to the point where it becomes caricatural or awkward. And although I love idols whose dancing style is more approachable and easily digestible, I am also highly impressed by an energy-based dancer whose delivery seems a little bit more over the top. After watching Yeji, I always come to the realization that I cannot move my body at all. I mean, sure, I'm good at walking, but that's about it. Also, the fact that this is the same person as this.
언니는 대단해. 언니는 대단한 사람이야.
Is beyond adorable. There's this duality about her that I personally find very attractive and captivating, between this girl crush shark and an absolute goofball. Vocally, Yeji still needs training to become a more versatile and well-rounded vocalist, but she has talent and potential checked. She's an example of a good idol singer who does her lines justice and is not afraid to really sing into the microphone. Moving on to Mamamoo. Let's see what you had to say. And you guys chose Huiin, we can see that pretty clearly. So, who is my bias? Think well. So we agree, again. Okay, first of all, she is so unbelievably hot. I mean, Huiin is my definition of attractive, and I'm not ashamed to say that. She's so sensual, charming, and graceful. In my mind, Huiin is like this super pretty, intelligent, kinda introverted girl in high school who you can be friends with, sure, but you will be too intimidated by her to make a move on, so you can just secretly admire her when you can. It's not like I'm speaking from personal experience, you know. Right? Right. Okay, let's come back. It is also really hard to ignore how insanely skilled and talented Huiin is. If she's not an ace, then honestly, I don't know who is. Huiin is arguably the best vocalist and the best dancer of Mamamoo. which is quite a feat to say the least. I know some fans claim that she's boring or that she's not really a good performer. I think that's what happens when you are in a group with two very extroverted and expressive performers like Sola and Hwasa. Because Hwin is more on the calm, composed side, she may not always shine, but I personally do find her very appealing. She also has one of my favorite voices in K-pop. It's bright and slightly husky, with a glassy frosted tone to it. Another reason to fall in love with her.
그대 사랑처럼 이슬로 뿌리를 내리고 난 불벌레 소리로 산소처럼 너무 깨끗한 공기처럼 너무 투명한 우리의 믿음 우리의 사랑 날 버린 기억이 가슴에 남아서.
Next we have aespa. Let's take a look at a poll and we can see that Ning Ning is a definite winner here. I mean, you guys clearly have a thing for vocalists, which doesn't surprise me to be honest. And my bias in aespa, I'm gonna give you a moment.
I'm addicted 끊임없이 말을 걸어주는 나의 aespa.
So my reason for Karina being my bias is very thoughtful and profound. And that is the fact that I simply cannot take my eyes off of her. I mean, she's insanely gorgeous, but there's also something really magnetic about her. She has this polished, kind of like ethereal presence. Please keep in mind that I only just recently got into aespa and they are also a really new group, so that's why the reason behind my choice feels way more shallow. But I also really like Karina as a main dancer. I think she's a more of a fluidity based dancer, which I think is kind of rare for a main dancer. Her dance seems very graceful, detailed and controlled. I love her. Moving on to Twice. Admittedly, I am not the most familiar with Twice, but still I have a bias. I didn't make a poll for this one because Twice has more members than polls on YouTube can fit.
네가 있어 난 뜻이 없어. That's what you do. Baby 난 정말 아무것도 못하네. Oh my mayday.
And it is a double bias, and it is Sana and Dahyun. Sana because I really like her dancing style. Apparently she's not in the dancing line, which is kind of crazy. Like, who decided that? She's also just effortlessly beautiful, and her smile, woo! And Dahyun is one of the most unique idols I've ever seen. She always seems very free, very laid back, like she doesn't really take herself too seriously. And I really love that, it's so refreshing. And just allows her skills and talents to flow through her. I think she would be a great friend. These were my biases. Here's a quick montage of my bias records. Just to be clear, I don't have a bias record for each group, but still, enjoy. And that will be all I have for you guys in this video. This was so fun. I really needed something like that after making 4 episodes of my series Good Vocal Runs versus Bad Vocal Runs. I mean, I like it a lot, but I really needed to make a video like this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what are your biases, what are your bias records. I'm really looking forward to going through your comments and hopefully engaging in some respectful and fun conversation. Once again, thank you for watching. For now, bye guys.